Your next comedian is actually super exciting. I just found out he is going to be in a new Steven Spielberg movie coming out this summer, which is really freaking cool. So please help me in welcoming Chris Williamson, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Chris Williamson.
Give it up for Dan LaRocco, our MC. Thanks for coming out.
What's the movie you're going to be in? That's the one I want to.
I am going to be in a movie. I actually, I've been doing a lot of like extra work on movies lately, you know, and not to brag, but I was kind of hobnobbing with Matt Damon recently. And you know what I learned about Matt Damon?
He's short.
He's as tall as me. He's not short.
I heard he's short.
I heard things too. You got to pipe down. Am I right? Okay. Let me come give you a free lap dance. Here I go. Will that satisfy you? Oh my God. Like I said, next time you wait in the car. All right. Oh. But I was in a movie. I met Matt Damon, and he has a lady that follows him around with a utility belt full of hair care products. My friend Louis is like, Chris, you got to get a girl like that. I said, what's she going to follow me around with? He said, I don't know, a food cart? This guy's looking at me like, I thought Meatloaf died. I've always been fat. I got bullied when I was a kid. I don't want to tell you my bully's real name. Let's just call him Ricky Fiumara, Washington Street in West Hempstead. Time Ricky, he beat me up, stole my lunch money. I lost $247. I was always fat growing up. I was the only kid in Little League that wore a cup and a sports bra. Remember the games you'd play, like the hokey pokey? One time I put my whole self in, I squashed 3 kids. We had to take gymnastics one year, 5th grade. That was rough. After I jumped over the horse, the gym teacher had to shoot it. But I actually lost 60 pounds this year. Thank you. Thank you. Don't clap, though, because I gained back like 75. Didn't really deserve that. No, it wasn't Ozempic. You know what I did? Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers. Anybody else Weight Watchers fans? Some of you? I learned stuff like going to Weight Watcher meetings, right? Like, you know what's really important? Proper serving size. Right? Like a serving size of peanut butter is 2 tablespoons, not the whole freaking jar. But the most important thing I learned, women hate the men at the Weight Watcher meetings. Why? That's what I was going to say. Do you know why? Yeah, they lose weight too fast. Guys lose weight real fast, and it pisses the ladies off at the meetings. And the leaders, they have to like be supportive of everybody, right? So the leaders are like, Mary, tell us how you lost 1/2 of 1 pound this week. Mary's like, I didn't wear a bra. Then they come to me and they go, Chris, tell us how you lost 14 pounds this week. Got out right before a weigh-in. I had a nice poop. Stop putting milk in my coffee. I don't know. One guy told the whole group, this man told the whole group he lost 4 pounds eating pizza. He has not been located yet. I'm waiting for him to turn up dead somewhere with a food scale shoved up his ass. You know what they told me? You have to get activity points. Right? Activity points. So I went mall walking, which went well till I hit the food court. How nice is this place, huh? Let's hear it for Tony, who put this together, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, I heard you got rid of the Dewey Decimal System in Oceanside. I did. The Oceanside Library has no... I grew up in West Hempstead. They're still pretty much reading hieroglyphics there at that library. Oh. What else can I tell you about myself? I travel a lot, and I had to go through, the TSA security at the airport. Oh. And I have a problem. Like, I don't know if you noticed. I'm a big guy, but I have no butt, right? So, like, I could have plumber's crack if I'm wearing, like, a tuxedo, But I'm going through TSA, and they're like, Mr. Williamson, we're going to need you to take your belt off. Then he goes, raise both hands and arms over your head. So I'm standing there with my pants around my ankles. He leans in. He goes, can I give you a little advice? I said, what, suspenders? He goes, no, clean underwear. What else what am I tired of? You notice that everybody's an expert now thanks to the internet? It's tiring, right? Oh, man. I had this guy over at my house the other night. I don't even know the guy. He spends the whole time preaching about the Constitution and constitutional law. And finally, I had to ask him, buddy, how long is it going to take you to snake this toilet? My father. My parents are getting older now, right? So now I feel like at times I'm taking care of them, so... My dad, he had some problems in the house, so we had to move him into a hotel about 30 miles away from the house because of the construction. And he moves into the hotel. It's him and his dog, Dobie. Right? And I found out from the construction workers that every day my dad was driving back to the house with Dobie. I'm like, Dad, why are you driving back to the house every day 30 miles with the dog? He goes, Dobie likes to poop at the house. I'm like, liar, you like to poop at the house. He's losing it. I was checking up on him the other night, and I thought, maybe before I leave, I'd take care of the dog. I said, hey, Dad, before I go, do you want me to take him OUT? My father goes, stop, he can spell. Oh. My son's here tonight. He came out to join us, Nobody cares. You got like 2 claps. I'm sorry, buddy. It's funny. He's loved game shows ever since he was a kid. So when his mom and I were divorcing, he told me Mom had voted me off the island. Called our divorce the family feud. There were signs the marriage was going downhill, Like one morning I was in the shower and I stepped out. I was totally nude. That's not the joke, but thank you. It's the visual, yeah, I gotcha. She looked at me, totally nude, and she says, look at the size of your stomach. It's like your ding-a-ling has an awning. My son used to love Matchbox cars, and he had a little plastic dump truck. But he also had a speech issue, and when he said dump truck, it came out dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. Everything was a little dumb fuck, So one day he loses it, and I hear him in the kitchen with my now ex-wife going, Mommy, where's dumb fuck? She sat on the couch watching the Mets game. Tough. So then my wife and I separate, and I end up moving into like a bachelor pad, which you know the deal. Long Island bachelor pad is like, you know, $3,000 a month for a basement, you know. But I'm like sitting in my bachelor pad thinking, what else could go wrong? And the next thing you know, I'm in the back of an ambulance on my way to the hospital. Thanks for laughing at that too. But I'm on my way to the hospital, and half my face was just paralyzed. Couldn't move it. And the doctor, yeah, for real, promise. She's like fact checking me. She wants to make sure I'm not fake news. Look at the size of him. Is he AI? Oh, so I'm in the emergency room, and the doctor comes in. He goes, "Hey, you have something called Bell's palsy. Half your face is paralyzed, hopefully temporarily." He said, "But I have some good news." I said, "What's that?" And the doctor said, "I'm involved in community theater. We're looking for someone to play Quasimodo." Hospital's a weird place, right? Like, I walk in, I'm in there, my face is half paralyzed, and they're like, "Why are you here today?" I don't know, a little gas. Little gas, you know. So you gotta fill out the paperwork, right? And you have to put an emergency contact. And I don't want to put my ex-wife's name down. How's that gonna go? You know, they call her up, "Mrs. Williamson, your husband's here with a toothache. Do not resuscitate." So I leave it blank, and the triage nurse calls me over, and she's like, "We need an emergency contact." And I'm like, "There's nobody. I'm good."
What about your son?
And she goes, "There must be someone." And I'm like, "There's nobody." So this is a question she asked. She goes, "Who would miss you if you were gone?" So I wrote Betty Crocker. I said, "If you can't get a hold of Betty, you can call my Aunt Jemima." But you know, with divorce comes dating. That's the had to start dating.
After divorce?
Yeah, well, it's good to not date until you're getting divorced. You know, some people kind of date, and that's why they get divorced. You know, but yeah, I started dating. One woman I went out with the whole night, all she did was, she was just complaining about her ex-husband. She goes, "All he did was lie on the couch, drink beer, and watch football." And I was like, "I don't think we're going to work out." Can I get his number? He sounds like fun. A friend of mine is a comedian in the city. Great guy. He's gay, and he was always trying to set me up with his friends. You know, like, "Chris, you got to meet Bill. He's a great guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but Steve, I'm not gay." "Oh, but Bill is so nice. He's got a good job. He's attractive." I'm like, "Not gay." He goes, "Oh, that's too bad. Bill's a chef." Tell Bill I'm free on Friday. Then I dated a woman that went down this rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. Ever meet someone like that? I'm dating her. She's like, "The earth is flat. We never landed on the moon. Weather is controlled by the government." Finally, I had to break up with her when she told me eating bacon every day was not healthy for me. But then I got the COVID vaccine, and she told me I had been injected with alien DNA. So that night, I came to bed wearing a glow-in-the-dark condom. And she didn't even notice because she couldn't see out of her hazmat suit. I met a great girl, and we got engaged, and we just moved in together. Thank you. She's awesome. She's awesome. And I can never break up with her. You know why? All of her ex-boyfriends, she gives nicknames. Yeah. Like one guy she calls the crotch rocket because he used to ride a motorcycle. At least that's what I'm hoping. And I would hate to turn into like the couch potato. You know? Oh, there he goes, Mr. Softy. She's got a 21-year-old son. I'm really like getting used to being around a 21-year-old all the time. You know, like it's a challenge sometimes for me. You know, I was brought up like old school, you know. So he was failing a class in school, and she was yelling at him like any good parent would do, right? She's like screaming at him. And he goes, "Mom, stop yelling at me. You're triggering my anxiety." And she apologized. And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, if I told my dad he was triggering my anxiety, he would have been like, prepare for anxiety, because you're going to be going to school tomorrow with my foot up your ass. I did grow up in West Hempstead, New York. And I was a proud member. I spent a couple summers as a garbage man for Sanitation District 6. Thank you. I learned a lot being a garbage man, too, you know. And I was really good at it. I used to love to run and jump on the back of the truck. You would have known our truck. It was the one going down Hempstead Turnpike doing wheelies. Funny thing with garbage, though, there's a lot of rules, right? And people would always walk out to us and go, "Hey, can you take this? Are you able to take that?" And there was always this senior garbage man that was like, "We might be able to take that." One of the things I learned about garbage, you tip a garbage man $20, he'll throw a Volkswagen bus in the back of the truck. They don't care. But it was tough getting a job when I was a kid, you know? Like nowadays, they say young people don't want to work, right? They just turn their phone on and they go do DoorDash or they go do Uber. They work when they feel like it. Me, when I was a kid, sometimes I had to get creative if I wanted to go out and, you know, earn some money. Like, for instance, my grandmother loved to watch church on TV. And if I was low on money, I used to go to Grandma's house and pass the collection basket. And we were Catholic, so if the first collection was light, we would have a second collection. I had so many bad jobs. My grandmother got me a job calling numbers at a bingo parlor. Tell you what, the ladies at the bingo parlor were rough. I remember one night I was like B9. And this lady jumps up and screams, "Shake those balls!" I yelled back, "Show us your hooters!" Oh, what else to tell you? I tried real estate for a while. I was the worst real estate agent. This is how I'd show houses. I'd walk through the house and go, "Bill, this is the kitchen. Bill, this is the bathroom." I remember Bill was like, "Thanks for clearing that up, Chris. I almost pissed in the dishwasher." I went to a convention. Tell me this isn't the worst job. I met a real estate agent, a guy that had flown over for the convention from the Middle East. He sold houses in the Middle East. What a gig. "Hello, thanks for coming to my open house. This is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom. 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Sunken living room." So then I got into real estate appraisals. You know, appraisers get bribed all the time. We tell the bank what the house is worth, so people can borrow money based on what we tell the bank. So I remember I'm in this guy's kitchen. He goes, "Chris, I don't have any money, but if you can bring my loan in, you can have my wife for the night." Offered me his wife right in the kitchen. I said, sir, I'm a professional. You can't bribe me with sex. Is that a cheesecake? When did axe throwing become a thing? How about that? Axe throwing. I got hired to do a corporate event, and they're taking the whole team out to go axe throwing, to team build, you know? And so we go out axe throwing, and I noticed the boss is arranging everybody in a circle out in the field. I'm like, why is everybody in a circle? He goes, downsizing. Oh, I didn't tell you about the greatest dating experience I ever had. So this girl reaches out to me on my website, right? And she said, I saw your show. I think you're funny. You know, maybe we could go out. And my first thought was, is this like a dude from New Jersey? Right? Gonna try to scam me or something. But it turned out to be a real girl. And she goes, let's go for a walk in the park. You know, my first thought is, oh, great, it's August, and I'm pushing 300 pounds. But I went. So we're walking in the park, and as we're walking, a bird flies by. So I'm in the park with this girl. Bird flies by. She says, oh, my goodness, a cardinal. That's my dad. Every time I see a cardinal, I know that's my dad. As we walked a little further, a bird flew by and crapped on my shirt. I was like, that's my ex-mother-in-law. Folks, you have been so much fun. That is my time. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey, guys, keep it going for Chris Williamson, ladies and gentlemen.